Good morning, everyone. To the IAU Executive Committee, the AURA Executive Committee, race officials, team leaders, crew members, and to all the athletes in both our Asia Oceania Championships and the Australian Championships, on behalf of the local organising committee, a very big welcome. Australia has a long and deep-seated passion for the sport of ultra running. It's been the hopes and dreams of many an Australian ultra runner to host an IAU championship here on our home soil, where we can invite some of the world's best runners to race and enjoy our beautiful country and join us in the same appreciation that we have for the sport of ultra running. Hosting the IAU Championships here follows the rich path set in our rich ultra running history. We're going to see moments of magic at the track over the weekend. We're going to see runners push themselves further and harder than they ever have before. People talk about the Aussie spirit. I think the characteristics of our national identity are clearly identifiable: mateship, teamwork, courage and endurance. And I think the Aussie spirit will be seen and felt by everyone at the track, regardless of what country you're from. And it's my hope that that's the greatest memory that people take away from the event and take from their time spent here. So on behalf of the LOC, thank you and welcome. I'd now like to hand over to Nadeem Khan, the President of the IAU. Thank you.
I've been waiting for 16 years since I've been on the IAU Council to say this on the Australian soil, because I usually do it when I see you at championships. Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. Oi, oi, oi. Aussie. Oi. Aussie. Oi. Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. Oi, oi, oi. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. Welcome to the IAU 24-hour Asia and Oceania Championships. We've been around for 40 years. This is a 40-year anniversary for the IAU, and this is the first time we have come to Australia. So thank you for hosting the championships in your beautiful country. 24 hours is on an upswing. It has become our marquee event. A lot of athletes are participating in this championships, and it's huge, as many of you have seen from the World Championships that were recently held in Taipei. And Australia has done awesome, amazing at this event on the international podium as well. So congratulations to all of you. I'm going to take this opportunity to thank AURA, the Australian Ultra Running Association, and the president, Simone, for putting an awesome, amazing Australian Ultra Running Association together and having us over here from the IAU as hosting the championships here in Australia as well. I want to thank Matthew Eckford, the director of the LOC, for tirelessly working in putting together these championships, and you'll see the fruit of his labor starting actually from this press conference right now and all the way till you start boarding the flights back to your countries. I also want to thank the city of Canberra for hosting us and making us feel right at home. It's going to be an awesome few days over here, and really looking forward to what the athletes have to offer. Talking with the athletes, we do have some sitting up here on stage, and we'll be doing a quick chat with them to see how their training has been for these championships. But before I end, I would really want to wish everyone all the best. I wish all the athletes the very best for tomorrow. I mean, 24 hours is a great metaphor for life. You live a few lifetimes during the course of the event. I should know that I've run for Canada a few times at this event as well. So really looking forward to seeing what each one of you will bring to the table tomorrow, or bring to the track, I should say. And yeah, it's going to be an exciting event. Pace yourselves, and it's going to be outstanding. So thank you once again, and thank you, Matthew, and thank you, Simone, for giving me the opportunity to say Aussie, Aussie, Aussie in Aussie. Thank you so much. All right, let me introduce you to our panel over here. Some very amazing, outstanding athletes from the region of Asia and Oceania. First of all, it's my pleasure to introduce somebody I have known for a very long time. I asked her today, how many times have you run on the national team? And it happens to be number 5. So it's my pleasure to introduce you to the lady who's sitting on my on my very close left over here, representing New Zealand. She has run 202 kilometers as her personal best. It's her 5th time wearing the All Blacks. And in her free time, she likes to draw cartoons. So please put your hands together for my good friend, Dawn Tuffrey. Sitting in the center is she's representing Australia, her 2nd time at the championships. I had a chance of meeting with her back in Taipei in December. Her personal best is 232 kilometers. She is a very proud hockey mom. Please put your hands together, representing Australia, Murray Connor. On the extreme left over there is another lady I've known for quite some time. She is representing India. Her best is 187 kilometers, her 3rd time representing the nation of India. In her free time, she likes to read a lot. And please put your hands together for Meenal Kotak. Now moving on to the gentleman, representing Australia again, 2-time representative for Australia, ran in Taipei, has a personal best of 260.4 kilometers. In his spare time, when he's not running, he likes to hike. So please put your hands together for Michael Hooker. And representing our previous host from the World Championships, Chinese Taipei, he has a personal best of 230 kilometers. He has run several times for Chinese Taipei, and he likes to play soccer and basketball. Please put your hands together for Mr. Chang Chia-Chun. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So this is going to be a nice chat, and we'll get to know some of our top athletes a little bit better than we probably knew when we walked into this room. So, and maybe you'll know each other a little bit better as well and know yourself a little bit better. Hopefully we can get down that deep in this 1 hour I have with all of you. So we'll make sure we lock the door from the outside so no one's going anywhere. All right, so let's start with a question that is common to all of you. So I'm just going to go around, but I'll start with our lady in the middle, Murray. So, Murray, tell us a little bit about the training that you have done leading up to these championships.
I hope this works. Oh, there you go. Hi. Training this time around has been a 12-week block, interrupted with some skiing in Japan. But I think that's good cross-training. But otherwise, just upping the volume a little bit as we go, and then tapering off in the last week or 2. So hopefully we're coming in nice and fresh, ready to race well tomorrow.
So when you say tapering, I mean, we're ultra athletes, right? Tapering for us is a marathon possibly, but I mean, what do you mean by tapering?
Just dropping down to 10 or 20 Ks for the week. No, I didn't peak very high this time around, 120 or 130 Ks for the week, a few weeks out. But yeah, this week's just been gentle and easy and ready for tomorrow.
Awesome, thank you. Chang, so what have you been doing in terms of training for these championships?
Usually I run 100K per week and do some core training, and I think the most important of all is recovery. So I do massage 1 time per 2 weeks. Yeah.
Very good. So what kind of core training are you doing? Are you doing core training in the gym, or you have a personal trainer, or?
I have a personal trainer, yes, and she will tell me some action to get more could get more stronger, yeah, for running. Yes.
Wonderful, wonderful. That's the mistake I was making. I did not have a personal trainer, and I was running in the times before Google as well, so I could not even Google stuff. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Chang.
Thank you.
Don, you've done a few of these. So how are you training for this differently than the previous 4?
I think I'm doing a little bit more than the last one because I'd been injured beforehand, but essentially the same, I guess, just building up gradually. Hamilton's pretty flat, so you can run lots of flat like the track, and yeah, just building up and tapering down. Essentially, I didn't get too high this block, but fingers crossed it will all be enough.
Do you think us runners are too caught up with the fact that we are ultra athletes and we got to put 150, 200 kilometers a week? Or do you think we are fine doing what we do for training for a marathon?
I would say the latter. I think I'm more on the lower volume end of things, which can just be because of a busy life. But I would say marathon training could often be fine, yeah.
All right, awesome. Minal, how is your training been different? I mean, from your last championships?
I have not been strength training in the previous championships, and I was injured for quite a long. That's why I missed in between a championship. I introduced a lot of strength training, and of course I had to increase the volume, which wasn't there in the previous championships. But of course the tapering has followed, and now I'm recovered and ready for Saturday.
Yeah. Now I've seen a real spurge of ultra running in India.
Yep.
And so what do you see? I mean, I see it from the outside in, you're actually inside.
Yep.
So how have you seen that change over the last, I mean, I think I first saw you, correct me if I'm wrong, about 4 or 5 years back.
2017 is when we met in the World Championship. Yeah.
There you go, 9.
That was the first year we were representing India.
7 years back then.
Yeah,
so how has life of ultra running changed in India since 17?
So a lot has happened over the last 7 years. We are more intelligent when it comes to nutrition. We are more intelligent and focused when it comes to training. And we have dedicated goals. Those years were like the first year when we didn't even have any nutritional idea. We were all very new. We didn't even understand that we had to put in calories every hour. We were like, I remember we had Japanese tent around and a US tent around. And imagine India in between, representing for the first time with US and Japanese around. And we were like, why are they eating every hour? So a lot has happened. We are really very focused now. I hope we achieve the goals as a team on Sunday by the end. And let's see, fingers crossed.
All right, awesome.
Yeah.
Matthew, I think that's the mistake we were making. We were eating and not running. I think that's the part we forgot about. You're right, okay. Michael, how has your life and training been different than Taipei?
I think training hasn't been too dissimilar to Taipei, just usual building of volume, trying to stay consistent and listen to my body as well, and just being consistent with the volume, doing strength workouts as well, just in between a couple of times a week, just to maintain strength in the muscles and body. My biggest focus, I think, probably coming into this championships is probably sleep. Sleep has been a bigger focus as well, so yeah, that rest and recovery and sleep.
Well, I'm glad you said sleep has been the focus, because when you said sleep, I was going to say, how are you jet lagged? So sleep is a very important part of the whole process, right? And sometimes we cut back on that because we're trying to find that balance in life. I'm sure you're trying to find that balance in life as well. So how do you compensate for sleep or rest, or is rest paramount for you?
Not so much rest as such, probably just, again, listening to my body. I work shift work as well, so I work 4 or 5 days or 4 or 5 nights in a row and then have a block of days off as well. So because of my long shift hours as well, I tend to train a lot lighter when I work. And then when I'm on my breaks, I train a lot heavier and increase the volume a lot. So I focus, when I'm working, I focus more on lower volume and more rest, more sleep. And then when I'm on my breaks, it'll be increase the volume and try and get the volume in, but it also have the rest in between as well.
All right, wonderful. So I'll go back to Murray. Murray, the next question is going to be something that
You should stop asking me first every time. Because then I can see what everybody else is saying and have a better answer.
There you go. There you go. Well, you can set the tone now, so everyone's going to copy off of you. So
I'll ask you a question.
if you don't know me that well, you'll be here for the next couple of hours. But these people do. So, all right, Murray. So let's talk a little bit about nutrition, which has become a big part of ultra running. Not so much when I was running back in the days, but very much so as Minal has pointed out as well. So what's your nutrition like? Let's talk about training, and then let's talk about the racing as well.
I'm probably a naughty ultra runner though. I don't use any nutrition in anything under 3 hours in training. So generally I'm fasted for all of my training runs and all of my runs because it's very rare that I'll run more than 3 hours. And I used a dietitian last year to improve my nutrition because I was having a lot of GI upset in races. So now I've sorted that out. I'm very simple with my nutrition. Minimal whole foods and just a lot of volume and fluids, basically, making sure I maintain my electrolytes and very simple nutrition plan. But yeah, and I don't practice in training.
Yeah, there you go. So what do you have to say to people who are just getting into ultra running when it comes to nutrition? Because that is something that we are asked all the time. Like, what do I eat? What do I drink? I mean, what is your advice to them?
So I think everybody's different and you have to listen to your own body and do what works for the individual person. So for what works for one person doesn't necessarily work for another person. And mine's been through trial and error, and I'm happy to go through the learning process and I'm happy to go through that for myself. So, you know, I'm happy to have a race, and if it doesn't go so well, have a think about it after the race and work out what I need to change and then try something new next time. Okay. So, yeah, I'm always evolving. Even my nutrition from Taiwan, I've changed it again, and that's only a few months ago. So, yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. Chang, how about nutrition for training as opposed to nutrition for racing?
Okay, for training, I always eat many type of vitamin, yeah, and omega 3, 6, 9, and some healthy oil, yeah, and before the competition, maybe 1 month to 2 months, I will prepare. In Taiwan, it's called bendong, prepare by myself, and to reduce some too much oil. Yeah, as you know, if we buy outside too much oil in that. And when the competition, I will eat a lot of gel and protein with soy milk. So I try buy some soy milk in these days to try the best flavor. Yes. So let's all yes. Yeah,
now, do you try something different on race day, or everything that you're going to eat tomorrow for the race, you have already done that in training?
Okay. I think in my strategy is keep different, not different. Not different with that championships. Okay. So.
Very good.
Yeah.
All right. Don, now you have had 5 tries, 5th try tomorrow, right? So you have done a bunch. Has your nutrition changed over the course of the championships over the years?
I think it has, but I'm still trying to get it right every time, pretty much. So that's why I have to keep coming back. Then I can stop once I've nailed it. But yeah, still trying to work it out really, but it's probably much the same. I have an electrolyte drink. I have some real food like potatoes and some sort of chews and things like that. So just trying small tweaks each time to be a little bit better. But yeah, still working on it.
So what is this one food that you crave? And I'll tell you mine, so you don't feel bad about saying stuff. I mean, I'm very fine putting myself out there. When I used to do 100 miles out in the forest, about 12, 14 hours in, I used to come in. I used to crave boiled potatoes with salt. So I used to take half a potato, dip it in salt, put it right in. And it sounds disgusting, but it was so amazing. So yeah, that was my weakness.
That's a good option.
What's
Yeah.
yours?
When I'm in the worst of it, I don't want anything at all. But I guess it would be something sort of hot and savoury and salty. Yeah. Maybe pizza or something like that.
All right, awesome. That's the beautiful thing about ultra running. We can just hold a slice of pizza and keep running. Yeah. It's a work of art. It's a work of art. Minal, you started this conversation about nutrition. How has your nutrition changed from 2017?
So initially it used to be 0, 2000. So I'm sorted till about 12 to 14 hours. I'm still trying to reach from 14 to 16. And after that, it's all the crew who has to take care of me. So, I give up after that. More on natural foods than the processed. Gels just get into my system for an initial 2-3 hours. And after that, I just say goodbye to gels and I get to the natural foods. Yeah.
So what is this amazing thing that you brought from India that you're going to be trying during the course of 24 hours tomorrow?
Team spirit.
Only if that
It
could
was
fit.
actually, we were just two girls. I remember 2017, and I was there I was selected for the Taipei. I had an injury. I have seen a lot of changes. That was the first year, 2017, and last Taipei when we were representing. We are different people altogether. So we didn't even understand that like puking is so common out there, right? I puked and my husband was my crew at that time and he got me the chair. And then I realized that those Americans and Japs were like puking and they were like just bouncing back on the track. And I was like, okay, this is how it happens. So India has seen a lot and hopefully this team spirit should get us a good score this time.
Yeah, I've heard it all. Unique, strange, one of a kind. So yes, I mean, you are part of a very special group here.
Yeah. My pleasure. Yeah.
Michael, nutrition-wise, I mean, you haven't had much experience on the international level. However, what did you learn from Taipei that you might be doing differently when it comes to nutrition here in Australia?
I think with my nutrition, I eat a lot of whole foods, so I'm not a huge fan of lots of gels and that sort of thing consistently through my race. I do take gels and things, but not quite regularly. So whole foods is my thing. So for me, I have to train my stomach, obviously, to be able to run and sustain the whole foods as I eat. So as part of my nutrition and being able to eat, I actually stop and when I eat, I actually walk a lap, which allows me to palate the food because I have struggled in the past to palate food and actually chew it and eat it. So I find a lot of food either pureed or just easy to swallow is something I've had to sort of work with and trying to put into my running plan. So, yeah.
Now, do you find that you might come, because you talked about walking while you're eating, and all of us have a certain game plan that we come into 24 hours with. You know, some of us are more better than others are when to sticking with that game plan. I wasn't. So with me, it was like, oh, I'm gonna run for X amount of kilometers, and I'm gonna walk a couple of laps around the track. That never happened, and eventually it turned out to be I'll be crawling around the track and no running at all. So how strict are you, or how disciplined are you when it comes to doing those run-walk breaks?
Yeah, with my running, discipline isn't ever an issue. I'm pretty disciplined with my training, and I wouldn't say I'm OCD, but I'm pretty stringent with my plan. So if I've got a plan, I try and stick to it as best I can, and I have my support of my crew to keep me on track with that. But yeah, I'm pretty disciplined, so sticking to a plan, which I always have with every race and event I have, isn't usually an issue, but it's usually coming up with an alternative plan if the race isn't quite going to the plan I'd like it to. So I've had a few of those in the past, and yeah, you learn from every single one of them, and you just got to learn to adapt, recalculate maybe your goal and what you'd like to achieve if your A goal or A plan doesn't work, and then just aim for that. So yeah.
All right, awesome. So I will not go to Murray for this next set of questions at the start. So
I'm setting the benchmark.
no, I'm going to stick with Michael.
Down here.
I'm going to stick with Michael on this one. So So, Michael, I mean, ultra running. When you run an ultra run, we see one person running it, but there is a crew of support that is behind that one person, right? And I know that as well because I had a lot of support from my family. Tell us a little bit about your support system.
Yeah, you're right. We can't run these crazy distances and do these crazy events without support. And I've got a beautiful partner who's very supportive of me, and she's also an ultra runner herself, so she understands the game. So yeah, I focus mainly on my running and training, but the support I get from my partner and friends and family is amazing and good to have in the background as well. I also have a very supportive employer as well, and workmates who have been very supportive of my events and that since starting work with them. But yeah, family, friends, and my partner's the biggest support, and it's great to come to a huge event like this where you've obviously got your teammates as well, which we can all rally around each other and support each other as well. So yeah, it's good.
And how was it when the first time your friends heard what you were doing?
Which event?
The ultras.
Running and,
the
okay.
ultras.
Well, everyone you talk to that isn't an ultra runner that you know thinks you're crazy. But I think I always say the best people I know are crazy. So, and that's all the ultra runners that I'm associated with. So, yeah, most people that aren't runners and don't really know the sport just think you're nuts. But I'm okay with that. So I know I'm a bit crazy for doing the things we do. But yeah, in general, people are supportive, even if they don't understand. They're quite inspired usually, and they just are amazed when you tell them what you do and how far you're running or planning to try and run and the time that you're trying to run. So yeah.
Awesome. Don, same question to you. I mean, I got a chance to meet your family yesterday, and I've probably seen them a couple of other championships in the past as well, in different capacity. But tell us about the support system that you have.
My family think it is a bit ridiculous. They don't want to take it up any time, but they definitely are supportive in terms of I might ditch them for a few hours fairly often, and they'll be cheering me on. So in that sense, no, they're good. But yeah, my partner would prefer to kick a ball, and my daughter, yeah, she's not at all excited about the idea, but no, they're good. And yeah, family, friends, and wider networks are awesome, and especially when you're out on the track and your team are all cheering you on. So, yeah.
And same question to you as well. How did your friends react when you first told them about the awesome stuff that you do around the track?
They usually think it's pretty weird. I like the ones who are like, is that as far as a marathon? And well, it's probably a few marathons. And so it's always an entertaining conversation. My boss likes to bring it up with clients. And yeah, so it's always a good story. Yeah, you get a little bit of raised eyebrows.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Minal, how is your mindset different running in a championship event like tomorrow as opposed to running in one of the many events you do back home?
I think that mindset really changes because you're taking the responsibility of a team, of your country. Back anywhere, be it India or outside, when I'm running as an individual, for me, it's my goal. Over here, the team goal supersedes my goal. Of course, I take the when you get the authority, you get the responsibility. So over here, it's like I take the responsibility of giving my best as a team, as an individual, not thinking about the next hour, but this hour, be in the present, and you have to give your, I mean, there's no second thoughts, right? This is the event for the year. And you have to give your best, you have to be persistent, self-regulate yourself, keep up the pace, and give your best.
It's interesting you said when you have authority, you have responsibility,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
I've been married for 10 years. I have no authority yet. I'm responsible for anything that goes wrong in the house. So I don't know how that works. So I should have my wife speak to you with,
Yes.
So in terms of your thought process that goes on, right? I mean, when you're running back home, do you have, like, let's say you're running in a 24-hour event, is your game plan different than over here because you mentioned you're running for your country.
Yep.
So does that change? Because now you're not responsible for a person, you're responsible for that shirt you're wearing as well.
Yeah. So, it's not like very common, but there have been like a race where I have entered and I feel after 6 hours it's not happening. This is not my day. And I just pull out of the race. But this cannot happen on Saturday, right? So I have to give my best, be it a good day or a bad day. Yeah. I have to be positive. Even if there would be times when the mind and the body are not going together, we have to work on it, sit back, come back, and keep going, and be with the team, because right now it's India before anything. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Awesome. Chang, so what do you think when you're running?
The answer is my wife. because my supporter is my wife as well. Later. When every time in 24 hours competition, she always support me for 24 hours. Yes, and she will transfer to Coach Mord when I run it. But she's my supporter as well, and I I think it's a treasure time when I and her pass the nutrition or food, and I will feel the warm temperature in that short time. You know? Yes. So yes. Let's go.
I'm out of words. I don't even know what to ask you after that. I'm speechless, man. I'm speechless.
Yes.
If you can just repeat that, can I write it back and I'll recite it back to my wife as well? So, there you go. Yeah, exactly. I think we can just close the press conference at this point. I'm kidding. No.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Chang.
Thank you.
Murray, the question for you is, what's your thought process? What are you thinking in a, let's say, a event that's in your backyard as opposed to a championship event?
Probably a little bit like India's team spirit. When you're coming to a championship, you're running with and for a community. So it's such a privilege to be able to run for your country anyway, put on some green and gold, and it makes me feel invincible to know that I've got this team behind me who are going to help me succeed, and also I can do the same for them. So for me, it's just about being part of a great community, and we share a lot of laughs, not from me, about me usually, but it's such a beautiful time. I love. It's only my second time representing Australia, but being with the team is some of my favourite days. So. Yeah.
So do you still get that giddy feeling in your tummy and goosebumps and when you put that shirt on?
Yep, every time. And I even sometimes just put it on and look at myself in the mirror and then take it off and do it again. It's fantastic. I love it. I will never get tired of it, and I am very proud and honoured to wear this uniform and be part of this team. So. Yeah.
It's funny, every time my wife picks on me back home, I tell her I'm a Canadian heritage because I've run for Canada. She goes like, that was 20 years back. Wake up.
In 20 years, I'm going to be pulling out my shirt too.
There you go. Don, so you have run a lot of these races. So how has your mind, thought process changed at the beginning of the race, the middle of the race, and towards the end of the race? And we all know the last 3 or 4 hours are amazing. Especially the last hour when you bring out your flags and stuff like that. So how does your game plan and your mind change across those hours?
Across the course of the race?
Yes.
I think it's really important. Like, the thing that I've probably got better at over time is staying positive and just really accessing that gratitude. Like, it is a privilege. It's amazing we get to do this, and especially in our country colours. But just being able to run, there's only a certain percentage who are able to come and do this and compete at this. That's really special. So it's kind of trying to reconnect to that and go, actually, this is a privilege. Enjoy the moment, enjoy the adventure. That gets harder later on. But that's when it really is important to kind of pull back and try and access that gratitude and positivity, cheer each other on, and just draw what you can. And it might just be funny little things happening, like people dancing in Taipei by the river. Yeah. But you really sort of tune into those things that are going to help spur you on and keep giving you that good energy. And then obviously that's probably even more so at the end, just trying to get that last little bit of a push. But yeah.
So what word of advice do you have from your experience for someone who's trying to do 24 hours on, they want to give up, 6 hours in, 12 hours in, 18 hours in?
Don't give up. But what I do try and tell teammates, like especially newer teammates, is you can have a rest, you can have a sleep. Like, this is a really long race, you've got time. I think just coming back to the fact you've got time, and it's not over if you have a break for an hour or 4 hours. I've slept under a table for 4 hours and kept going. So it's definitely, you can always come back and not to panic and be kind to yourself. Like, it's really easy if you're not meeting your goals to go, oh, I should just stop now. But yeah, be kind to yourself and keep moving the one step at a time.
Awesome. Thank you. Chang, I'll get a couple of tissues before I come to you in a second because, So tell us a little bit about how did you get into the sport of ultra running?
How do you get?
How did you enter running?
Enter running?
Yes.
Oh, wow. When I 20 years old, I set one milestone for that decade. And I set second milestone in 30 years old. I joined the half marathon in Taipei. And let's start my marathon time. And after 6 years, I see Guan Jialiang Yi, in Japanese person in Suzhou University, and I don't know why I like he ran and find the books and decide I want to run with him in the competition. But unfortunately, when I get the qualification, but he can't don't run. He can't run in 24 hours competition. But yes, that's why I ran ultramarathon. Yes.
Wonderful. No, that's great. Maybe you're referring to Ryoichi Seki, I don't know. But
Yeah,
so
yes.
that's awesome. Yeah.
Yes.
Actually, the world championships I ran in, he won those world championships. So what a legend.
Yes.
Yeah. Murray, same question to you. What brought you into ultra running?
In September 2017, I had spinal surgery after an injury, and I started walking around the park just to try and for rehabilitation. I have a 1.6 kilometre park just at the end of my street. So I started walking around the park, and then I started jogging around the park, and then running around the park, and then I trained for a marathon, and I just was never satisfied with myself. So I just kept a little bit further, and here I am now running for 24 hours, and I can probably do that around my park. But I don't know. It's where's the limit, and how where can we go, and what can we do, and that's it.
So, Murray, I mean, that's an amazing story. How do you feel when you look in the rearview mirror and see how far you have come?
If anyone's ever been to rock bottom, that's where I was, because I couldn't walk very well. I was like a robot walking, and I had no ability. So for me to be able to even run one lap of my park was an amazing milestone and step for me 5 years ago. And so every time, that's why I think I run with so much gratitude, is because I can, and I am always thankful that now that surgery worked for me. I know it doesn't work for a lot of people, and I'm very lucky and very grateful. So now I'm pushing it to see if I can break it. No, not really. But I'll stop before I break it, but probably 24 hours.
Well, we're glad you're with us. Thank you. Minal, so tell us a little bit about sorry, let me get my question.
Now all the new questions are on me.
No. So tell me a little bit about about the thought process in the whole community right now, right? I mean, you are here with a big team. Back in 2017, I believe there were 2 runners that came to
Two
the
women and 2 men.
2 men and 2 women. Now you come to events with 6 and 6.
Yep.
So how is the atmosphere back at camp?
So as I told you, it was pretty new for us. So
Yeah.
we had no clue as to what ultra running is. I mean, we had clue that you have to go ahead with the distance, but not the nutrition or the mental aspect. There were no plans as such. We just came there and we ran whatever we could. In those days, 100 milers was like a 220, and even for men. So from now, what they are looking at is something beyond 260 for men. So imagine when in 2017 the criteria for selection was 160 for men, and now we don't get selected beyond till the men have got 240, 250, 260, whatever. So 7 years with 2 years of COVID, a lot of transformation has happened, be it physically, be it the mental training, be it the physical training, be it the nutritional training. We have nutritional coaches now. We have mental coaches, the mentors, basically. And, of course, the training plans are with one of the best coaches in the world, as well as Indian coaches. A lot of transformation has happened. A lot of focus is on the strength training as well, which helps in the second part of the race. If not the first. And I see India going leaps and bounds from here.
Now, your federation president is a good friend of mine, Adil
Yes,
Sumariwala.
Adil,
And NEB Sports with Adiga have support. Both of them have supported the team tremendously.
Yep.
What does that support mean back
It
for a
means a
team?
lot. It means huge. It means many of the teammates wouldn't have landed here if we wouldn't have got the sponsorships and the help which we are getting from NEB Sports and the AAFI. Yeah. It wouldn't have been possible without NEB Sports and the AFI.
Yeah.
So if they wouldn't have been there, we wouldn't have been here.
Yeah,
So
and
thanks a lot to them. Yeah.
support from the federation and sponsorship is very critical.
Very critical. Yeah.
Awesome, thank you. So, Michael, you don't have much of an experience at the national level, but international level, but you are running tremendously well. So, how do you put that game face on? Because it's tough. It's tough for someone who hasn't run on so many international events.
Yeah, you're right. It is going to World Championships back in December was the first time for me and a new experience. Similar to what Marie shared earlier, I just looked at it as a privilege. It wasn't somewhere I saw my running going to represent the country, and obviously putting on the green and gold and being able to represent your country is an amazing achievement and privilege to be able to do it. But yeah, sorry, just gone blank. What are you saying? Can I get you to repeat the question? Sorry.
Oh yeah, sure. No, I said, how do you put your game face on?
Yeah, okay,
race day?
sorry. Just lose focus. Don't do that. For me, going into every event with a plan, with a goal, and knowing why you want to do it and what you want to achieve out of that goal and event. The reason why you want to do it, like a lot of events that I've done in the past are for my own personal achievements and goals. Coming into an event like this or into World Championships, it's more about the team, representing the country. So you want to do your best, you want to put your best foot forward, you want to encourage your teammates, and it's more of the team, it's not so much about yourself. Although we run as individuals on the track and we want to perform at our best, we want to perform at our best not only to achieve our own personal goals, but to perform at our best to put the limit on the team, so we want to give the best total that we can run, the best distance we can for the team to achieve ultimately the team total. So it's just a focus on a lot of different things. It's yourself, but there's also the team. So the focus for me is just, or the game face, as you say, is quite easy for me to put on because I focus on those things. So, yeah.
Awesome, and we are towards the tail end of the press conference, and you have led into my last question as well there, Michael. So I'll just ask you the last part in a different way, and you can add whatever you want to, is the team aspect. So this is very different from your regular races out there where you're running as an individual. Running is a very individual sport, unless you're doing a relay. I mean, we're not doing a relay here tomorrow, but we are running as a team as well. So how does that factor into the whole equation?
It changes things a lot for me. Like I said, it is a privilege and it's an honour. I mean, as a kid, you know, you run and you watch sport on TV and you watch the elites do their game, you know, whether it's football, rugby, you know, whatever the sport might be. And you watch these people, the elite athletes of any sport, and you're inspired. And as a kid, for me, I know I love sport. Like, sport was my life as a kid. I never thought I had the ability to get to that level, probably just because of lack of application and training, maybe a bit of support as well. But, you know, when you get to that level and you realise you're at that level where, oh my goodness, I'm actually at that top level where I've been chosen to represent the country. I think for me that was a big thing. And when you realise that it's not just about you as well, that you are representing the country, the community, everyone back home. You know, you're wearing green and gold, which everyone in Australia associates with. So I look back at me as a kid, looking at the people wearing green and gold, and I think, you know, how amazing it was to, you know, see them on TV and represent the country, and now I'm doing it. And yeah, I just think it's amazing. And I sort of think about other kids and that might be watching, you know, or other people that are following along that don't have the ability or the means to be able to run or do other sports and get to that top level to represent their country. So for me, it's a privilege, it's an honour, and yeah, I like to soak it up, and I want to make the most of my opportunity while I'm wearing the green and gold to put my best foot forward, and just, yeah, apply myself the best I can.
Absolutely, no, and I'm sure there are kids looking out at you right now, and it might be news to you, my friend, but you are an elite athlete as well when it comes to ultra running. So, Don, another championship, another team. How is this team going to come together and try to get to the podium?
We've got a big team, which is exciting. We've got some people who haven't done it before, so that's really exciting, showing them what it will be like. Hopefully they'll be inspired rather than scared off. I think, yeah, just coming together, doing our best, encouraging each other, all the usual stuff. But, yeah, it's really cool to have a bigger team because we often have trouble fielding a bigger team, so that's quite exciting for us.
Yeah. Missing a name on that sheet, you have been sisters in arms from day one. Fiona.
Absolutely, yeah. She messaged me and she's like, I'm a little bit sad not to be going, but she's doing a 100-mile ultra in Wellington, so yeah, maybe next time. We both said never again in Taipei, but somehow you do tend to come back.
That's right. Let me just tell you, I'll be seeing you at the next championships. All right. Minal, I'm going to be using your words, India before everything else.
Yep.
So the team aspect, how is that shaping up for these championships now?
We're all geared up, looking forward, and we'll try to give our best. And fingers crossed. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Chang, big team from Chinese Taipei.
Yes.
So how are you going to be? You're running as an individual, but you're also running as a team.
Okay, this is my second time represent the country, and I think we have a very good cohesion, and we will encourage each other on the track, and I think we will never give up. And talk each other, never give up, never sleep. Not only beat ourselves personal best, and we will beat our team record. Yes,
right.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Murray, the team aspect, and you're the captain of the women's team as well for Australia.
Yeah, we are looking forward to having a good time. We're all friends on our team now, so we've got some games lined up for overnight. We've got Jenny's going to be singing, And the rest of the team has to guess what song she's singing, and when she gets the sore voice, Alicia's taking over, and then Cassie. And the boys can join in if they like, but that's our women's strategy. And yeah, we're looking forward to enjoying the rave party that Matt's putting on overnight like they did in Taiwan. And the tambourines and all sorts of things. So yeah, we're going in with a happy team environment, community feel, and we're just going to work together to achieve the best result we can as a team.
Awesome. Well, the last thing I'm going to ask each one of you is to give me one word when you think about ultra running. I'll start with Dawn.
On the spot. Gratitude.
Gratitude. Michael.
I'm going to stick simple and just go crazy.
Crazy. Marie, one word that you think about when you think ultra running.
Blisters.
Blisters.
Love.
Love.
Patience and self-regulation. No, that's true. Patience.
Patience. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, what we have learned is we have learned gratitude. We have learned respect, not only for ourselves, our teammates, our community of ultra runners. We have heard that being on the national team is not a right, it's a privilege. And it definitely is a very proud privilege. And we have also learned that ultra athletes are like anybody else. You know, the only thing that differentiates them from others is their ability to dig deep and make the impossible possible. So ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Dawn, Michael, Marie, Chang, and Minal. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.